Hello everyone, welcome to MRU E-Learning powered by Mallaredi University. I am Dr. G. Jose Moses from Department of CSE. Today we are going to discuss about Introduction to Recommendation Systems. In today's lecture, we are going to cover the topics Introduction to Recommendation Engine and Recommendation System, Recommendation Phase, Recommendation Techniques, Recommendation System Functions, Recommendation System Challenges. Let us see what is meant by Recommendation Engine. Recommendation Engine is a type of software tool or algorithm designed to suggest relevant items or content to user based on their preferences, behavior or historical data. So this topic is about recommendation systems, where it encompasses the entire system that delivers recommendations, which includes recommendation engine, interfaces, data pipelines, user experience and supporting infrastructure. Recommendation system relies on big data analytics and machine learning algorithms to find pattern in user behavior data and recommend relevant items based on those patterns. It is widely used in industries like e-commerce, entertainment and social media to personalize user experiences and increase engagement. So now let us see about the recommendation phases. In recommendation phase, we are having a information collection phase, learning phase and a prediction. In information collection phase, it collects all the behavior of the users, where he is interested in, and in learning phase, we are going to learn what type of content the user is interested in, and basing on that, we will be recommending some content or product for the user. Now let us see one example of a recommendation system. Here we can see that a user is either buying or is liking or is watching or is disliking. Okay, so in the application area, you can see that there is a smartphone, there are some songs, there are some movies and there are some pictures. So the user may buy a phone on an online platform, or else he can like a song or video that is played on an online platform. Basing on his behavior, the user feedback is sent to our recommender system, and the recommendation system will be creating a list where it will be suggesting the next video or next song that he likes, so that the user engagement will be more with respect to this website that the user is watching. Now let us discuss about recommendation system techniques. Recommendation system techniques are broadly divided into content-based filtering technique, collaborative filtering technique and hybrid filtering technique. So here a content-based filtering technique is where it is based on content that the user is watching or user is listening. And a collaborative filtering technique, it is divided into two types of techniques, where one is called to be model based filtering technique and the other is called to be memory based filtering technique. In model based filtering technique, we have clustering techniques, association techniques, Bayesian networks and neural networks. In memory based filtering technique, it is again further divided into user based and item based. Now let us see in detail about what content based filtering is. Here in content based filtering, the recommendation items which will be recommended based on similar to those the user has interacted with or liked in the past. For example, if a user is watching a sci-fi movie and in an online platform, so that the mood of the user is basing on the sci-fi movies that he is watching. So all the sci-fi movies that are available in that area are recommended to the user. So the attributes that are taken like genre, actors and directors and whatever the user is liking to watch, the other type of movies that are recommended to the user. So this type of recommending system is called to be content based filtering. The other type of filtering is called to be collaborative filtering. In collaborative filtering, it is divided mainly into two types, where user to user collaborative filtering is there and item to item collaborative filtering is there. Here, the user with similar preferences are given where the similar priorities. See, for suppose here a person is reading a particular document which she is liking, and the same document is again read by a person with the same interest. So these two persons are being shared with the same content that they are liking. So here in collaborative filtering, the items are the user to user. Collaborative filtering is done basing on the likes of the user. The third type of technique in recommendation system is hybrid systems. So in hybrid systems, it combines both the content based and the collaborative filtering. So here this filtering technique gives more accurate than the other filtering techniques. So here generally in real time, Netflix uses a mix of these approaches to recommend shows and movies. Here we can see that the hybrid recommendation system, it combines both the content based and the collaborative based filtering techniques. So these are taken to be the inputs for the combiner, and further the combiner gives the recommendation to the user. The next type of technique in recommendation system is context aware recommendation. So here we will be recommending the contextual information like location, time and device into the recommendation. For example, whenever we are carrying a mobile phone with reference to the location, the app gives us some recommendation that this coffee shop is having the high rating or this hotel is having a high rating, and this type of recommendation is given as an example for context aware recommendation. The fifth technique of the recommendation system is knowledge based systems, where it relies on explicit knowledge about the domain and user requirements. For example, if we consider travel websites, so travel websites are recommending some destinations basing on user specified criteria, where it is depending on the budget or the climate, such that that places are being recommended to the user. So this type of recommendation technique is called to be knowledge based system. Now let us see some applications of the recommendation engines. So here we can say that in e-commerce it is mostly been used. Like in Amazon or eBay website, generally it is suggesting the products for the users. As most of us use these applications, so for suppose if we search for an item, generally it will show the similar items which are related to that particular product. For suppose if I am searching for iPhone model 15, so basing on that, whatever the models that are there with reference to iPhone, all the accessories, all the mobile phones and other things are being suggested basing on this recommendation system only. And coming to the streaming websites, in streaming websites, recommending movies, shows or musics. For suppose in Netflix, Spotify or YouTube, for suppose if you are watching anything in YouTube, the same type of video, the content that we see in the video, the same will be recommended to the users. So these are some applications of the recommendation engines. As well as we can see in news platforms, the articles that are based on our user interest, like the websites Clipboard and Pocket. For suppose if I am more interested in business news, all the business related articles will be recommended to me, apart from the other sort of items that are there. And coming to the online learning, suggesting the courses or educational material. For suppose NPTEL, Swayam, Coursera, we are having several online platforms. In these online platforms, if I am interested in a particular domain, all those domains that are related to that particular area are being recommended to me, such that the user will be engaged more for that particular websites like Coursera or NPTEL or something like that. And the benefits of the recommendation engines. Now let us see how it benefits by using this particular recommendation system. Here we can tell that the most important factor for the using the recommendation engine is about personalization. So here in personalization, the users are being tailored, like it creates a tailored user experience where the user will be prompted with the likes or the thing that he is interested in. And the second point that the recommendation system benefit is about increased engagement. So here by using this recommendation system, the engagement of the user will be in high. For suppose it encourages user to spend more time on a platform. For suppose if we take something like the online apps like Instagram or some Facebook or YouTube, generally in Instagram, if you watch some video of some particular mostly the next coming videos will be of the same type, such that the user will be having much interest to watch those videos, and he will be more engaged to that particular application for more time. And here the other important benefit is about the higher conversion rates. So whenever we comes for marketing or sales or subscriptions, so it boosts when we are using this recommendation system, because the recommendation system will be displaying whatever the item or whatever the videos or whatever the musics that I am liking. It will be recommending only those particular items. So whenever the user is been attracted to that or engaged to that particular application, obviously we will be having a boost in sales as well as subscriptions. So the next one is efficient exploration. Because for suppose if we are not using this type of recommendation system, we may not get the recommendation, such that the user may not see the video that has been created of his like, or he cannot listen to the song that he likes. So based on this benefit of the recommendation engine, the user helps discover the content that they may not find, because the recommendation system searches the content and the content is being displayed to the user. So these are some of the benefits of the recommendation engine. So now let us see about recommendation system functions. So what the recommendation system function is? So the primary function of the recommendation system is to analyze the user behavior, his preferences, and the data to provide personalized suggestions for items, products, or content. So this is the basic primary function of a recommendation system. So this system aims to improve user experience and engagement by reducing the user effects to find the relevant content. Because the user no need to search the content that is interested in. The recommendation system will recommend whatever the user is interested in. So here in the recommendation system we are having the different parts which are called as like data collection, data processing and analysis, prediction, recommendation generation, personalization, filtering, adaptation, and presentation. So first and foremost thing is data collection. In order to give the recommendation, the basic thing that we require is to collect the data from the user. So collecting the user interest, like and his experience, we will be creating a recommender engine. So based on that, the recommender engine will suggest the item or product or the content to the user. So the first and foremost thing that is important is to collect the data. After collecting the data, we are processing the data and performing some analysis where we will be drawing some conclusions, and from their conclusions we are going to predict the model to the user. Okay. So now let us see some use cases of the recommendation system. The use cases of the recommendation system are like Amazon, which recommends the product based on the past purchases, browsing history, and similar user interests. In Netflix, it suggests shows or movies using collaborative filtering and user viewing history. In Spotify, it creates playlists like Discover Weekly using music preferences and listening behavior. In YouTube, it recommends video based on watching history and trending content. So these are some use cases of the recommendation system. So here we can see the summary of all the techniques that we have discussed in today's class. So in today's session, we have discussed about content-based filtering, collaborative filtering, hybrid systems, knowledge-based system, and context-aware systems. So here we can see the strengths and weaknesses of the various techniques that we have discussed in today's lecture. Thank you.